Don't move firewood. Seems like a simple request, but you might be surprised at the prevalence of transporting firewood, even in situations where it is illegal to do so. The problem with transporting firewood is it is a great vector for moving invasive species around the country. Now, for this video, we're going to focus mainly on emerald ash borer, but there are many invasive pests of concern, and you're going to get a taste of those as well. Now, if you missed the setup for this video, check out part 1. Link is below in the description. The opening line in the first video states,
"When it first arrived, we were unprepared."
And that is the truth. Most invasive species, when they arrive at our shores, we are caught unaware. So when a small greenish metallic beetle named emerald ash borer, or EAB for short, arrived in Michigan, the original strategy was to cut down all of the ash trees in the infested area and then spreading out about a half-mile radius, cutting down those ash trees as well. Now, while well-intended, this came with consequences, because cutting down thousands, if not millions of ash trees has a high price tag, and it actually didn't work due to, you guessed it, the movement of firewood. As we heard in part 1, quarantines were enacted to slow the spread of what we later learned was EAB. Both federal and state governments enacted these quarantines to make it illegal to transport harvested ash trees outside of areas that were confirmed to be infested with EAB. The maps used in this video diagram the spread of EAB across North America from 2011 to 2014, painting a very telling picture of how easily this pest moved around. Without the assistance of humans carrying it around all over the country, EAB naturally spreads about a half-mile each year. Now, with a spread this slow, it would take EAB over 1,000 years to naturally spread from where it was initially found in Michigan to southern Illinois. So yes, the spread of EAB is inevitable, so why all the fuss with quarantines? Well, the point of the quarantines is to slow the spread of the pest to allow communities to prepare for its eventual arrival. You see, when the elm and chestnut trees both succumbed to their invasive pests, ash trees were serendipitously the next in line for planting. And we planted a lot of them. Developers, communities, homeowners planted millions and millions of ash trees. And when EAB comes to town, you now have millions and millions of dollars that need to be spent in either treating these trees or cutting them down, or a combination of both. And this is a huge burden for already cash-strapped municipalities and homeowners. In fact, the USDA predicts that the total cost of EAB will range between $20 to $60 billion for the United States.
Only 2% of the population was left in the wake of an unstoppable wave.
After living with EAB for a little over a decade, researchers noticed a bit of resistance in white and blue ash species. This leads scientists to estimate about a 98% mortality rate. While this still leaves the genus Fraxinus, or ash trees, pretty much decimated, there will be a very tiny percentage still left around after EAB sweeps through. When it comes to removal, the cost of dropping, say, a 30-foot ash tree next to a structure can easily reach over $1,000, which can be a deterrent to homeowners. Hopefully by now you grasp the importance of the Don't Move Firewood campaign, because while today it's EAB, tomorrow it might be the spotted lanternfly, or thousand cankers disease, or the Asian longhorn beetle, and there are more where these guys come from. Don't move firewood. Instead, purchase what firewood you'll need at the location where you'll be burning it. And also practice proper disposal of harvested timber, especially any plant species that might harbor invasive pests. Now, an example of this would be if you had an infested ash tree on your property, you could cut it down and leave the wood stacked on your property, or contact your local municipality to determine where the nearest landscape waste disposal site is located within your quarantined area. Regardless whether you wish to treat all your trees or have them cut down, make sure that you hire tree care professionals that are registered with your local municipality, are insured, and are licensed applicators of pesticides. And also double check that they are handling the landscape waste responsibly. University of Illinois Extension has a website dedicated to EAB. The link is in the description below. And if you want to find out what invasive pests might be headed your way, contact your local extension office for that or any other home gardening questions. And thanks for watching. I really wanted to include a shot of a particular location as part of the story in the first video. Now in these images you'll see lots of large leafless trees in the background, and these are all ash trees that have succumbed to EAB. Now when we arrived there, it was just to determine if EAB was present, and what we found was startling. We counted over 30 dead ash trees towering over people's homes. And this is when the whole chainsaw portion of the video comes in, because left standing, these trees decay at a remarkable rate and become a hazard to anything beneath.